But I want to welcome everybody to my channel, The Candy Shop. I am so excited. The Candy Shop. So this is my story time, The Candy Shop. All right. Hello and welcome to The Candy Shop. I am Candace and this is Keita. How are you doing, Keita?
Hello. I'm good. How are you doing?
I am good. I laughed my behind off with this Housewives episode. I hate that you didn't get to see it and now Camille wants to
I
come. Kennard,
know. Hi, Camille.
yeah. Yes. So we are gonna get Kennard. Oh my goodness. She comes right when I go on. We're gonna get started we'll jump right into it. I'm gonna put a spoiler
Sure.
alert for those that have not watched it yet. Yes. So Housewives of Atlanta. So tell me about how many episodes you've seen so far. Like, have you watched the full season or what have you seen?
Yeah, so I've watched the whole season. I just didn't catch this episode. So I'm fully caught up on all the shenanigans. I choose not to watch it when it first airs because I don't want to give them ratings, but I do watch them though. I'm caught up.
Yes, I agree. Someone gave me an angry face for the Housewives of
Oh
Atlanta.
no.
But now it seems like it's a delay with you. But I can hear you, but your camera seems delayed.
Me?
So
Oh no.
yeah, I think we can do it still.
Okay.
But last week's episode I didn't really watch as much because here we go. Evening, Kenny. And Keisha's laughing. Last week's episode, I did not watch. I didn't see the end where they talked to the prophet or how they said the prophet lied. I don't know exactly what happened because I fell asleep on that episode. So can you catch me up to speed with the prophet part from last week? I didn't see when he was on actually.
Yeah, so it seems like latoya had met up with the other girls. It was Marlo, Candy, and Cynthia, I believe. I think they were at Kenya's house in Kenya, and they brought up the situation about the prophet. And so she was like, I'm going to call him on the phone and let's ask him. So she called him up on the phone, and he basically said that there wasn't a relationship between them. And I think Drew had mentioned that she had broken up their relationship or something to that effect. But the prophet basically said that he hadn't been with the mother of his child for several years. So he pretty much put to rest what Drew was insinuating, but he didn't really go into great detail. So Marlo kind of put him on the spot and was like, "Tell us if you are in love with Latoya." And he never really gave an answer, but I don't think it really added any. It didn't really add anything to the plot, but they did speak with him briefly though.
Okay. Well, and I don't know why Drew felt like the prophet was lying. In my opinion, I don't even feel like whatever they had going on was that deep for Drew to be so like upset. Like it just came out of
Yeah.
nowhere. And on tonight's episode, it was pure foolishness. And I told you a little bit before we started about tonight's
Yeah.
episode because I saw child. This is bad. Like one of my favorite Housewives episodes is when Sheree was on and she was dating that doctor, and they kept putting doctor in quotes. And that episode was funny to me. I don't know if you remember. It was from
I
episodes ago.
remember that.
Yeah, Nene had been they had like a get together where Sheree was introducing her doctor boyfriend to everybody. So Nene came and he tried to shake Nene's hand, and she was like, don't I know you? Like she would not shake his hand. Like, that episode
That
was like the funny.
Nene.
Yeah, because the doctor on that episode, the controversy was he a real doctor? And they was like, did you get your degree online or did you go to a school?
Okay,
Like,
I think I remember that now. Yeah, okay.
so that's how funny to me tonight's episode was because Cynthia had friend miss or whatever. I can't even say it. But she got the cast together. I will say this. It's a little scripted. I'm not gonna say it's scripted, but you can tell they put them all together for the scenario and they were really planning on how they would react. So they do the bad Santa thing, or I'm sorry, not bad Santa, white elephant is what they call it here. And so they do the white elephant. They put all their gifts under the tree, choose numbers. Portia and Drew are like 3.5 hours late or something like that
Oh
to the event.
wow.
Yes, I don't know why Portia's always late. But anyways, they get there. They put their gifts under the tree. They chose numbers for Portia and Drew. Marlo said she wasn't coming, and Latoya said she wasn't coming. But Marlo still sent the gift, so they drew a number for Marlo. Anyways, they start the gift exchange, and the gifts are nice. The rule is the gift has to be like $1,000 gift. And you know, I've done it for work before. Yes, and Keisha's right. We call it Dirty Santa. Like where I'm from, we call it Dirty Santa. But
Okay.
usually there's like a limit on how much the gift costs. And like for work, our limit is usually like $20. And so
Right.
theirs was $1,000. There's the minimum was 1,000. And so they start exchanging gifts. Portia gets a Tiffany's set, and she was like, "Oh, okay. Can somebody steal this, please?" Because you know, with white elephant or bad Santa, however the last person that draws and that picks a gift can choose anybody else's gift. So it's like gift swaps. And I think some gifts, not to be so technical, but I think a gift is only allowed like 2 or 3 swaps or something
Yes.
like that.
Yeah.
So she gets a Tiffany set. She's not impressed because they were like, "What woman doesn't have Tiffany sets?" And remember, on one of I'm gonna plug my story time, and one of my story times I talked about my Tiffany's bracelet. But anyway,
Okay.
she says, "I don't even wear necklaces," and they show all these clips of her wearing these necklaces. And so they start revealing the gifts. The gifts are so nice. There's an iPhone 12. There's like this expensive perfume and designer like pouch that somebody got. Then I think I don't know who bought the Chanel. I think Shamia bought Chanel, so she bought the Chanel pendant and a Chanel like scarf. It was nice. So they spent some money on these gifts. And hey, Angel, they spent some money on these gifts. And Kenya she claims she spent $5,000 on these diamond earrings that Candy picked.
I
And
I don't believe
yes,
that. I didn't even see him. I don't believe that.
you sound like the lady
She
on the
doesn't
show.
even.
They was like $5,000. They had their phones up like praise the earrings. So all the gifts are nice. Like you could tell they really spent some money. So we get to Drew's gift. Her gift is pulled last. And guess who has to pull her gift last? Kenya. And so Kenya, and I have the spoiler alert there. So if you haven't watched and you don't want to know what's happening, turn off now. Click like, but then turn off, log off. But they get the Drew's gift. So the first gift is it's like it looks like a mink pet carrier, and it has some red hair sticking out. And so it cuts to commercial. When it comes back, Kenya pulls out this wig, and it's the wig from when the one that they talked about that they said looked like a little dog or whatever. And so she's like, that's bundles. This is a gag gift. I spent $1,000. And so all around the lady was like, that don't look like that was $1,000 wig. I'm sorry. And Cynthia was like, I'm a wig connoisseur. That wig was not $1,000. It's that. Then the second gift is I forgot to tell you that she donated $100 to the Humane Society. And so it was just her receipt. She donated money to help cats or something like that.
It's like a terrible gift.
She said it was a gag gift. And the whole time I'm like I literally, when I was doing my makeup, as I was watching it, I had to pause, like, what the hell is going on here? Because all the gifts were good. Yes, thank you, Kanara. Please subscribe to the Candy Shop. Good evening. So then the third gift is that's when she pulls out this radio. It's like it's a 90s cassette player. She has a cassette because she's recorded the Prophet. Yes, Angel, Hot Mess Express. The whole gift Drew presented. I was embarrassed. I was too. Everybody's I'm laughing at Keisha. She said she would have thrown that rug wig back at her. I would too. Kenya took the wig and just threw it on the floor and walked off. She called her daughter like, "Hi, baby. How you doing?" So Anyways, Cynthia had her assistant there, and so the assistant had took the cassette player with the cassette, put the tape in, and then you get the prophet talking about his relationship with Latoya. And he basically said he liked Latoya. He's gonna leave her alone though because she's still married or she's going through whatever. She's moved on, so he's not gonna continue to mess with her. Like I still don't understand what Drew was trying to prove. It was just a hot
Right.
mess. And so even the lady was like, "Okay, what did you prove?" Then all of a sudden, ding dong, uh, what's her name? Toya's at the damn door where she wasn't even supposed to show up. So she comes through and Kenya's like, you don't know what gift she was trying to give you. So that's where you get the fight. They argue over that. And I turn my head. So if anybody can tell me, did Drew start did she drag? I mean, not Drew. Did Latoya drag Drew or did Drew drag Latoya? I turned my head and when I turned back, they were pulling them apart. And I'm like, oh man, I missed it. And for some reason, I couldn't rewind it. But but it was so funny to me. Then Latoya comes, she was like, I'm leaving, I'm going to get with the prophet. And I'm like, girl, that would have been me though. Like if you're gonna try to clown me or roast me or just degrade me in that way, I'm gonna play on what you're trying to say. So I'm gonna be funny about it.
Right.
Like yeah, that's my man. Like that's him. That's him.
I don't understand what the point was of bringing this up. Like, because she was saying that she couldn't allow him to christen her baby now, and it just didn't make sense to me. And then in the end, I think her mother ended up christening the child, which I think would have been appropriate in the first place. You live with the preacher lady, so like, why you didn't just let
Exactly.
your mom do it from the jump? I don't even understand the big hoop.
Exactly. Drew has some weird, them California people be weird at times, even though she's from Chicago. But she doesn't let the
Yeah,
weird California stuff come. And I'm so confused about why she was so upset about the prophet. Like Hannah,
like,
now
was he your side piece?
Hannah had a theory. She was saying maybe the husband has said a lot to the prophet about his dealings and what he does, and Drew was upset that Latoya got close with the prophet because therefore it's a chance that the prophet could tell
Mm-hmm.
Latoya about
Pillow talk.
yes. So that's the
Yeah.
only thing I can think about because she's like so upset that they got close, meaning they've said some things. Something has happened where
Right.
I don't know. It just seems strange. But yeah, the end of the episode. Okay, so Keisha said Latoya may be a psychotic drunk, but Drew is focused on the prophet and Toya way too much. Like, get a life with her pretend obsession, passion for Christ. Yes, yes, I agree.
She tickled me though when she told she had that Delilah spirit though.
Yes,
Like,
I'm like,
what? Take us back to
girl.
Bible study. What?
Yes, an angel said, I think that's it, and it will be revealed at the reunion. I think so too. Like that prophet probably know
Yeah.
too much about them, and that's why she's upset that they got close. But the way that the episode ended, that was funny too. When they had those carolers coming, because it was like so much happening on the episode. Cynthia's like, "Get out of my house, time to go." And then Kenya and Latoya leave, and then them carolers come singing Christmas songs, whatever. I forgot what song they were singing because I was laughing so
Right.
hard. It was like, what else could happen? And Latoya starts trying to dance with the carolers, and Kenya is flipping out like, "No, no, come back, come back." They get in the car and Kenya's like, "Get away from my car," to the carolers. She was so rude. But the other ladies enjoyed it. This episode to me looked better than what the reunion would be. To me, the reunion doesn't look good, but I don't know. Have you seen the trailers for it?
I don't think I have seen the trailer. I've just seen their looks and the whole dungeon theme, which makes me feel like they're going to be going over this whole Bolo thing again, which has been a dead horse at this point. Like, she screwed him. What's up? Like, what's the problem?
Yes,
So,
that's what's boring. Keisha said that girl was so drunk and Kenya reprimanded her like she was Brooklyn. She did. Kenya was like, "Get in the car. You are making a fool of yourself." she yelled at Latoya. Like she just flipped. She was trying to help her at first, but then when Latoya was trying to dance, she went off. But the Bola situation, I mean, to me, it wasn't a big deal. Portia is single. So what if she banged the stripper? Like I didn't care. And then
yeah.
in the environment that they were in, it was a bachelorette party. So what do you expect to happen if you have a stripper there? He stays after hours.
Right.
Yeah, it, I would have just kept all of that, whatever went down, to myself, regardless of whether or not I like somebody. It's not my place to tell their business. So
Yeah.
yeah, I just it. I guess Kenya wanted to, because they needed a storyline and they wanted to make the show juicy since Nene was gone. That's what she thought would make it juicy, but it just, I feel like it was a flop. And then Drew trying to have this storyline with the prophet was a flop, but she made
Flop.
herself look crazy today. That, like, I was laughing the whole time, like, what the hell is going on? And I was so confused,
It's
just
just
like
crazy.
Shakita is the friend, or Kita is the friend that helped me figure out what was going on with the whole Portia and these receipts and this Black Lives Matter and all this other stuff.
Right.
I almost feel like, who was that unbirther that said this was all a scheme by Todd to come with the
It's
bullshit?
all a scheme from Tide. Yes, yes. I mean, that whole part, I think it's ironic. Is the thing is that they're mad about a scene that was removed, right? And they're now bringing light to it. So at this point, it's like, just let us see what y'all said, because y'all talking about it and we barely know what you're talking about. Most of the people are lost, like, what's really going on? And Portia seems to be just so upset about it. Like, I think she even responded again because Candy had mentioned it on, she did an interview and spoke on it. And Portia then again responded again. It's like, just let it go. We don't even know what you guys are talking about.
Exactly. So that's why, and I said this yesterday, I really feel like the show just needs to be done. I know they want to do like a cast shakeup and all this other stuff, but it's ran its course. I'm tired of watching them. Now, if it come back, I will watch, but I'm tired of watching.
No, it does feel like it's ran its course. It feels like the dynamic of the group is not the same. I feel like Kenya is trying extremely hard to fill the void where that was left from Mimi, and it's just not giving what they wanted to give anymore. It's just not. So
Exactly. I love
yeah.
that. Reminds me of what's his name, Roland Ray. He always is saying it's not giving what it's supposed to have gave, and
Is
this
it really? Is that where that's from? That's hilarious.
I've
I did
always
not know that's where
heard
that
him.
originated from.
I've
Oh
always
dear.
heard him say that.
I
But
retract
yes,
that statement, okay? I don't want
yes,
to repeat Roland Ray.
this this season is not giving what it was supposed to have.
It's not.
I'll say
It's
it.
that's
But
hilarious. Funny.
so the reunion. I'll just say this. I guess the reason why it doesn't look good to me is because I'm so over them. And I understand now. You know, a few weeks ago they tried to clown Candy about how she was dressed, but when they explained the dungeon thing, Keisha said even Candy is about done with the drama. Exactly. Like Candy been making movies and stuff. She had a Lifetime
Right.
movie that premiered yesterday.
Right.
So, but I'm just over the season. I'm over Drew. I hope they don't ask Latoya to come back. I hope they don't ask Drew to come back because she just showed her entire black ass today. I'm sorry, excuse my language, but she's crazy. She does not need to be on this show anymore. Um, Portia, I've heard, does not want to come back.
Yeah, I don't
And
think she does either.
yeah, I like Portia, but I think she's grown and the show did what it was supposed to do, and she can move on to bigger and better
Mhm.
things. And so whatever she decides to do, I think she'll be good at. Kenya, I just I don't see how this has helped anything that she was trying to do. Like I, I don't get it. And then on today's episode, Mark, she was talking to her therapist. I guess Mark had left that morning, the day that she talked to the therapist, and as soon as he left, he blocked her on his phone. And then she
I saw
called.
that.
The little baby has a phone, I guess, so she called from the baby's phone, and it rang. And then she texted like, "Hey, why did you block me?" And he was like, "I'm at the hospital. Something that's happened to a friend." And she was like, "Well, it's COVID right now. They're not letting people in the hospitals." And he was like, "I'll call you back." So it's just a mess.
Yeah, I feel like that's where Kenya really should be focusing all her attention into that weird relationship she has with her air quotes around husband, because focusing on Portia has just again been a flop. It didn't again take off the way she wanted it to. Half of the world doesn't even blame Portia for what she did. They would have jumped on the chance to sleep with Bolo as well. So she really should focus on what's going on in her household. I think it's weird that, she can't go and stay at his house when she goes to visit him. She has to stay in a hotel room. Just the whole situation. She just needs to the animosity and passive aggressiveness she gives to the girls. I feel like she needs to direct that to Mark and dead that
Yeah.
situation. Yeah.
Yeah. Keisha said Kenya just needs to get laid.
She
I don't
does,
even
and she needs to find someone who wants to, I guess, lay her maybe, because it's obviously not her husband.
get right. Kenya is just, I don't know. She's one of those people with her personality. It was gross to me that her and Latoya were like supposed to be little lipstick lesbians together or something. Because Kenya is not attractive to me. Like in the beginning, when the show first started, she was, but her personality, everything that she's done, it just disgusts me. Like
It's a turn off
yeah. And Keisha's right, but nobody wants her.
because she's so abrasive. Like she doesn't have a middle layer where she can be calm and cool. I mean,
Exactly. And she's always scheming on for
mhm,
something. I don't know. It
mhm.
just who else is on there? Oh, Candy. I did we mention her? Yeah, she's going and doing movies.
Yeah, you said she's doing her movies.
Marlo was an honorary member, I guess. She wasn't on this last episode, and she wants her peach. They don't want to give it to her. I don't. Marlo is too extra. She's like another Kenya to me. Not to say that she's scheming, but she's doing too much to be on the show.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's what I feel about that. I hope I'm not. Can you make me another drink real quick? I hope I'm not leaving anybody else out. But today's episode, I was highly entertained. Kenya is not that much worse than the others. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, Kenya though, I liked her in the very beginning, but as the seasons went on, I just did not like Kenya anymore. I like Portia though. Portia
Yeah.
has remained my favorite, and I actually this season liked Candy as well. Candy was very neutral in how she moved, so I liked her too.
I don't think Candy was so neutral because she was having her little conversations with Don Juan. I mean, they played back like two or three different instances where she confirmed that, she did hear the noises coming from the room, while most of the time when they talk about it in the group, she's like, just don't worry about it. It's nobody's business. But she's a
Yeah,
straddler,
I think she does it. She wants her coin, so she does it on that
for
Speak
sure.
on It show, which is on YouTube, and so she's gonna.
Mm-hmm.
Candy is about that money, and I can respect
Definitely.
that. I can
Definitely.
respect that because it's a business. So,
Hmm. Hmm.
but those are my thoughts on that. I did want to talk a little bit about Love and Marriage Huntsville, Melody Hope. Let me see if I still have Melody Hope here. So Melody Hope, allegedly, I'm not gonna say allegedly. Oh, let me see what Keisha said. She said Kenya focuses on trying to throw shade on everyone else when she's the one going through the most. Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. But Melody Holt, she was supposed to perform at the Bayou Classic or a block party for the Bayou Classic in Shreveport yesterday. So I don't know if the performance happened because we're in these groups on Facebook.
Hmm.
They were saying that the performance didn't happen, but
Really?
yeah, but I don't know. I think it happened. I follow her on Instagram, so I watched her story. She was driving to Shreveport.
Right. I saw the story where she was going. I mean, do you see where she was doing a 6 hour rehearsal for her one song? Like, girl,
Yes,
you're gonna get hoarse. How many times you gotta train
yes.
for that song? I can't wait to see it. I hope it's recorded
They
somewhere. I want to see what her dance moves were that she practiced for 6 hours for.
exactly. I saw some of it on her Instagram, and it was hilarious. She looked
Yeah.
stiff.
Like, what you doing? Get her a chair and let her sit there and sing.
Yes, but
Easy.
no, I like me some Melody, but it was
Oh, I love
funny.
Melody. Yeah.
Yes. But have you seen the latest about Arian, the side chick? Now I've never
What?
I'll say this. Tasha K came out with a story saying that Arian is on Section 8 and lives in the projects, and I don't know how you could be on Section 8 and live in the projects. It's one or the other. But she says she's on Section 8 living in the projects, and Martell is living with her and some other stuff. Just crazy stuff. So I've never given my opinion on Arian because I felt like, well, me myself, I'm a married woman or whatever, but I've always blamed Martell. Now, Arian is young. She is the other woman. She's a side chick, but who knows what this man is telling her? So I
Oh yeah.
never blamed her for that situation. This, to me, it was all Martell. Now, these people, they do continue to attack. I don't support Arian either, because like they do in the
Right.
groups. But I'll say this: it's just one of those situations where she's the other woman. Do what? I thought she was a nurse. She's no longer a nurse. She was let go. Somebody said that people was calling her job and telling
Oh, I
everything.
can see that.
She was let go.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're living in the Carpenter projects. Yes, that's what they say. But Ariane did say some crazy stuff online, and lately she's been doing all these posts saying she's worthy and all this other stuff. I just hope this young girl gets it together, because if anything, I feel like she wasted 5 years of her life. It's sad that she's gotten pregnant by this guy,
Hmm.
uh, and this isn't her first pregnancy. This is the second pregnancy, but this is the first one that she's decided to keep. So that's sad in itself. Martell, if you if he decides to be with Arian, if not, I hope he takes care of his kids. I hope he does right by both his baby moms now, because he has two of them now. He has to do right by his kids. So, what are
Right.
your thoughts on that?
Um, that's just a whole lot in that to unpack with their situation. As far as Ariane, of course you don't fault the girl. Martell is the one who took the vows. However, when you're 5 years in and you know what's going on, you share some of the blame as well. I seen she created a Twitter account, and on that Twitter account, she was kind of like, throwing jabs, obviously at Melody, and I'm like, Melody has been pretty classy when it comes to the topic of Ariane and not dogging her the way I would if it was me in that situation. So,
Yeah.
I don't think that she should be coming at her. I mean, at the end of the day, they're now, they have kids, they're siblings, so at some point you would hope that they could come to a common ground where their kids can, be around each other. So her coming at Melody at this point is counterproductive for the ultimate goal I would think that they all should have, which is, doing what's best for the kids.
Yeah.
Martell, I think we spoke about Martell in the strawberry letter and his weak apology that they had to fish out of him. It's like, I'm sure he is remorseful for what he's done because he's messed up, a solid foundation that he had. I'm sure that, when you think about having a happy marriage and kids, what they had prior to his infidelity seemed to have mirrored that. So I'm sure he is going through his own grieving process, and then looking around and now you have a new baby with the side chick. I'm sure someone needs to watch him. Should be on suicide watch, honestly, because he really effed up. He messed up a really good thing, and even if he does try to stay with Ariane, I don't see that having any longevity because it didn't start in the right way.
Mhm. I definitely agree. Angel said he is in a position for her to come up. And let me tell you this, Tasha K also said that, I think this is what Tasha K said, because I watched part of it, and then, I looked at the stuff in the groups. Apparently, the money
Hmm.
that Erin had to start her business, her clothing line at Aerie
Yeah,
or RS by Ari or something like that,
yeah, yeah.
that money was given to her from Martell, which came from Melody's bank account. So that's what they're
No,
saying.
I can believe that. I can believe that because Melody mentioned that he took a lump sum of money from their joint account and that she never got it back. And I think that during the divorce proceedings, he may have filed bankruptcy, so she'll never be able to recoup that. So that's very well a possibility.
Yeah,
That's so
it's so
wild.
shady. But what goes
That's
around
so
comes
wild.
around. Her glow up is real, because she's Melody is glowing, and it's good that she doesn't have. She probably feels a way about the other woman because being in that situation, I know I would. But the
Yeah,
fact
you
that
can't help it.
she's remained classy about it. Ain't really even said this lady's. She's never said her name.
Mm-mm,
If
mm-mm,
anything,
mm-mm.
Ariane has talked more about. Ariane has talked more about Melody. Kia said, or Married to Medicine, they are finished. They are finished with Real Housewives of Atlanta. Going back to that, I don't think they're finished with Housewives of Atlanta. Married to Medicine is boring too. I started to watch that. This season has not been good. I mean, I don't like. Do you watch Married to Medicine?
I do.
Uh,
I do.
yeah. So I don't like that Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone are not getting along. Um, when they were actual real friends. And then I
Yeah.
don't understand why they brought Lisa back. I never liked Lisa.
Lisa
So
can't hold her own. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think it's the same thing where you remove the people from the cast who bring the drama, who bring the ratings, and now you're just trying to do anything to keep the interest alive. But Lisa Nicole and I can never remember the other lady, the white lady's name.
is it
They
Carrie or
brought her
something
back.
like
Carrie, that's it. That's it. Carrie.
that?
Like, what are they gonna do here? Like, they weren't giving anything when they were there, especially Carrie, because I think she was
Yeah.
only on just like the first season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the very first season, and then it seemed like they
Hmm.
asked her to leave. She was, and it seemed like originally she was a friend of Mariah's, or I
Hmm.
can't remember. I'm surprised. Kia said, "Nope, it's good to know we have Black female doctors, but I may not want to see all that drama with them." I agree, and that's why I
That's
hate. Like I
true.
said, I hate seeing that the doctors don't get along. I hate it. Like I like that show Married to Medicine used to be so good because of just the friendships that they had. I really didn't like
Hmm.
the drama. Now they would have drama with the men because the men cheating, but the ladies usually all got along. I hate it though when Mariah and Quad stopped getting
Oh my
along.
gosh. Yeah. I
And
mean, and that's a true statement. I mean, when I had Manny, Dr. Jackie came into my room, and she looked at me as if I was gonna react to who she was, but like I just went through the most traumatic thing in my life. Like, am I gonna live or not? I wasn't even worried about her star personality or what she does on Bravo. So it is a conflict, when you are still out here actively practicing medicine. Like
yeah.
it yeah. But
Yes, but Angel said this season of Marriage to Medicine is a flop. They need to bring back Miss Quad. Yes, they do. They done talked
I
about her
don't like
enough.
Quiet. I don't like
See,
her.
I love Mariah and I love Quad. I like Quad. I don't. I'm trying to think who don't I like. Well, I said I don't like Lisa. But I don't really like Dr. Cone Tessa. She gets on my
Oh yeah,
nerves too.
yeah. She's
You
overly
know?
aggressive for no reason.
Yeah, but she started out so nice. I'm just so confused about her.
Mhm.
Like something seems
Mhm.
like wrong with her. I don't know what it is, but she's like a weirdo
I
to me.
I think it's coming out. I think it's probably just the stress from being in an unhappy marriage. Because at first, when she came on, they made it seem like their marriage was, all good and in a good place, right? And now she's saying that her marriage has been in a sucky place for the past 10 years. So that's probably where that's coming from. Her being all
Yeah.
upset, but
She said, Kia said Drewski is enough for you. I don't know if you're talking about Drew Sidora on Housewives of Atlanta. If you are, yes, it is enough for 1 year dealing with Drew.
oh yeah, yeah.
But but what were we talking about with Married to Medicine? What was the last thing that you said?
We were just talking about them, but what do you think about Toya? We were just going down the list of them.
Toya. I'm not gonna say I don't like her because I like Toya too. I think she's crazy. What's crazy is Toya has my maiden name. And I always wonder,
Oh, really?
I wonder was I related to her? Because if you think about it, her name is Toya Bush Harris, and so
Hmm.
my maiden name is Bush, and so
Hmm.
I always thought I could be related to that crazy lady. But I like Toya because she's part of the original cast, but I do think she's crazy. Like when she goes off and when she gets drunk, she goes off, and her husband be like, "Calm down." And like
You
on
feel
one of these recent
embarrassed.
Yeah, he told her, he was like, people are gonna think you just run over me because she be going talking crazy all the time.
Yeah,
So
she's
I like her.
definitely a
What do
little
you think of
firecracker. I mean, I like Toya. I don't have no beef with her. I see a lot of people online complaining about the fact that she just spends Eugene's money and doesn't really do anything. And I kind of feel two ways about that. Like, there's nothing wrong with, a black woman experiencing the luxuries of having a man provide and take care of her. But if he can't, if he's having to stay down at the hospital for 48-hour shifts, then maybe you could cut back a bit. So it seems like they're not always in a good financial place for her to
it?
do
Yeah,
what she does, but I don't see a problem with it. If he does, if he's providing a life for her, she's had his kids, she's maintaining the home, let her go. I don't have a problem with her. She's hilarious to
exactly.
me.
I don't have a problem with it either because tell me, like,
Hmm.
what job does Carrie have? Because it appears that
Exactly.
she's doing the same thing, but nobody has nothing to say about that. But no,
Exactly.
with her, it does appear that they live beyond their means.
Hmm.
She likes the fabulous life, and he enables it. So that to me, that's
Yeah,
kind of on him for not saying
it
stepping up and
is.
saying, "Hey, you don't have the money for that."
Right,
So
right. I don't know if you saw this, the one of the episodes, maybe 2 episodes ago, where she had to give him a shot of testosterone because
no,
she's running him ragged. Yes, like, you wearing this man out. Give
and
him
he
a
has to
break.
take shots of testosterone, something that he's
Yeah,
already
she
supposed
gave it to
to
him in the
naturally
tips. Yes, exactly. He was like, it's normal for men, testosterone to levels to lower out. It's not a big thing. Like, I don't know. You seem kind of young, bro.
Yes, because I think, well, they're in their
Mm-mm.
early 40s. I was going to say, I think they're my age, but they're actually in their early 40s. But
Yeah, she
yes,
just had a birthday.
yes. So what are your final thoughts on everything? I'm gonna end this now, and I'm glad that I had a very interactive audience tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching. This was fun. But what are your final thoughts on everything that we talked about today?
Um, again, thanks for having me on here, first of all. With Real Housewives of Atlanta, I mean, I'm going to obviously tune into the reunion show, but I'm not expecting much. I would be totally okay if they took a season off to kind of reboot and, hit the ground with a new, fresh group of people who could, bring some drama or bring something better than what they're bringing right now. As far as Married to Medicine, their season is just getting going and it has been a slow start at this point. So I hope at some point it picks up the pace. And I think, what else did we talk about? We talked about one more show.
Love and Marriage Huntsville.
Oh, Love and Marriage Huntsville. I mean, as always, hoorah for, Melody going on with her life and leaving the trash, to do what it may. And good luck to Martell and Ariane to figure out their mess that they've made. Good luck for that.
Right. Well, thank you, Shakita. I want to thank you for joining my show tonight, and stepping up to come on and talk with me. I love doing these reviews. Keisha said, Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion, gonna have stilettos and wigs flying everywhere. It sure is. Thank you for coming on and doing the show. My final thoughts on all of this, like I said, I don't think the reunion is going to be good, but I'm going to watch it. Make sure if you have not seen tonight's episode of Housewives of Atlanta, you watch it. It was It was funny. I was laughing the whole time. The last 20 to 15 minutes of the show were really good, or 15 to 20 minutes. I'm sorry, were really good. Make sure you comment, like, share, and subscribe on the candy shop. Let me put my other banner back up. I want to thank my new subscribers for joining. I hope you guys are entertained and have a good night.